Okay, everybody, welcome back to Boxing 365 and our next episode of the next card in the deck. We're going to be looking at the event that's coming up this Saturday, the 13th, and we're talking Crocker Donovan. So this one's going to be courtesy again of Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing, and it will be at Windsor Park, Belfast. So a night of Irish boxing.
Always good.
Always good. Always going to be a good show. So yeah, pretty big. There's quite a lot going on this one, and we'll start at the top as always and talk about Crocker and Donovan.
Yeah, good matchup. Obviously a lot of needle there. Hell of a lot of controversy going into the last fight.
Yep.
Some people see it as controversy. Me and you disagreed on this. I felt a little bit sorry for Paddy because he was winning the entire fight, and you instantaneously went, "He's been dirty all fight. You know, he's had what's coming to him.
Yeah.
You know, he's been warned a number of times." So it really split opinions. But I'm very curious to see what Crocker changes, because I don't think Paddy needs to change anything, but I'm curious to see what Crocker brings this time round.
I think the only thing is, yes, we sort of disagreed on it, but all through the fight you could see what he was up to. It was frustrating because he didn't need to do it.
No,
He was
absolutely.
being so efficient and
Oh,
so precise that he didn't need to do that, and it cost him the fight. And you don't often see that.
no.
But I thought that was quite just because I thought he lost points throughout the fight. I think on two occasions
Yeah,
through going
I
over
think
his
that's
head.
right. Yeah.
And yes, he was beating him, but he was doing it the wrong way. And so I think that takes away from your victory anyway. So
Yeah, I think I'll be honest. I think it was a discipline thing for me, because actually, if you not that we should, but if you ignore the dark arts, we ignore
hmm,
the bits that Paddy had done wrong. He was methodically breaking down Lewis Crocker. He was doing a phenomenal job of it. He was outboxing him. His footwork was phenomenal.
yeah,
And a lot of people expected Paddy to go in there and outbox him, and he wasn't. He was beating up Lewis Crocker quite convincingly.
he was.
But look, lesson learned. Lesson learned. He's got an opportunity out of losing this fight. He's got an opportunity to fight for a world title. When actually, if he'd have beaten Lewis Crocker correctly, as mad as it might seem, would he have ended up getting that Jerome Boots Ennis fight? Probably not.
No.
So actually, it's made both of these guys an absolute fortune. Lewis Crocker comes in as the A side, but the heavy underdog, which we don't see very often.
Yeah, yeah. It's an odd one, isn't it?
It is. So yeah, it's a curious world title fight.
I wonder, like you said, whether Crocker will or what it will have looked to have changed from the first fight because it is all on him.
Oh, absolutely.
Donovan doesn't have to do anything
No.
other than go in and not use his head.
Yeah, not use his head,
Physically,
not
not
hit
use
him
his head.
18 minutes after the
Yeah,
bell and all the
yeah,
usual bits. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. But I think I don't know what we'll obviously talk about our predictions at the end, but
Yeah,
do you think it's just going to be a repeat, but a neater job?
I think so. If I'm being honest, without being out and out Paddy Donovan,
Yeah,
I think you'd be an idiot to choose against him. I think Paddy Donovan, we spoke previous to doing the show, that Paddy Donovan is a phenomenal talent.
yeah,
But as part of that background of coming through the traveller background, they are notoriously known for not being particularly disciplined, especially at that younger age. We've seen it with the likes of Dennis McCann and things like that. And Paddy sort of, I think, fits that mould. Paddy Donovan is a phenomenal fighter and belongs at world level. Lewis Crocker has got an opportunity of a lifetime at Windsor Park to live his childhood dream and become a world champion in a absolute, what will be a shock upset.
yeah.
Because Lewis Crocker, great guy from what I can tell, and is an entertaining fighter. Is he a world beater? No, I don't think so.
No, I think I'm hoping that Donovan's learned his lesson from the last outing, and that perhaps he's going to come into this with the right, as you were talking about, discipline. I think
Yeah,
he will. I'm pretty sure he will. The only thing that stopped him from being a winner that night was himself.
yeah,
So
100%.
this time around, make it neat, learn from that, and I enjoyed watching him, so I'm sure I'll enjoy it again.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think the performance and the way he went around it, I don't think that will justify or sort of dictate his career going forward. We make mistakes. All of us make mistakes.
Yep.
And the realism of it is, as long as he does what he needs to do correctly and Andy Lee keeps him in line, which I think Andy will, he wins the IBF strap and he goes on to big fights.
Well, that was going to be what I was going to ask you next. What do you think will happen for him next? Do you think we'll wait for others in the division, wait for them to pick up the straps and then look at perhaps unifying?
Yeah, so at the minute as we stand, we've got in the welterweight division, we've got Norman Jr. Fighting Haney on November 22nd for the WBO strap. The WBC strap currently sits with...
Is it Barrios?
Marius Barrios.
Mario Barrios.
Mario Barrios?
Mario Barrios.
Not
Marius Barrios.
Marius the Barrios. However, my point being is that there's plenty of fights out there. If Saudi decide they want a unification, then he'll get it. I suspect that Eddie and Matchroom will want, as crazy as it sounds, and people will think I'm an idiot for saying it, I think on the back of the Crocker first fight, they're probably going to want him to have a couple of learning fights. And what I mean by that is maybe a mandatory defence, maybe a couple of voluntaries. You tick a few of the boxes.
Yeah.
When realistically, that'd be my view. But I'm probably a lunatic.
If the winner of this, which we're probably guessing is going to be Donovan, does go into one of those fights with a Haney or a Brian Norman Jr., how do you see that going?
Haney, Norman, very tough. I think Norman's very underrated. Devin Haney has a phenomenal set of fundamentals. I don't think he's got a lot more than that, and I don't think he's as good as people can sometimes make him out to be. But he's got very good fundamentals, and he won't be as easy to hit as someone like a Lewis Crocker. The fight I'd like to see him unify in would be the Barrios fight, because Barrios is there to be beaten, absolutely there to be beaten, which is the reason they're trying to line up the Conor Benn fight for early next year. Irrelevant of what happens in the fight with Chris Eubank in September, November. It was originally September. November.
Brilliant. Okay, right. Well, I think we've probably talked enough about that. That is obviously going to be brilliant when it comes round. We'll look at talking about the next fight on the card. Should be Ishmael Davis with Jarko. That's going to be an interesting one. Super welter.
Yeah. Another cracking fight.
Yeah, very good fight. So Davis is 13-2. He's only lost to
Josh
Kelly, and then Bohachuk as well, who's also out this weekend.
He is.
Over the sea. And Jarko's yet to be beaten.
Yeah, I think Davis. I like Davis. Now, Sonny Edwards declared him as the best kept secret in British boxing. Now, there's a few people that have been declared that over the years. Ishmael Davis, Callum Simpson, Tyson Fury when he was coming through. There's been thousands of them.
Yep.
However, his first two step-ups have been at late notice against proven phenomenal opposition. Now, I think it's back to the drawing board. Let's build him correctly.
Yep.
If he's as good as people think he is, he gives Kevin Jarko a very tough night's work. But if Kevin Jarko is as good as people keep saying he is, he will give Davis it's a really curious fight. Really excited for this one. Could be a banger.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, when you look at where Jarko is, obviously he is unbeaten and he's on a good run of form at the minute. It's whether he continues that or whether you see Davis come out and put right some of the things that have gone wrong in those bigger fights where he has stepped up.
Yeah.
It's guaranteed to be a good fight. Now, neither of them are necessarily punches. They've not got lots of knockouts on their record. But that's not to say that they can't stop people. They have got, so for example, Davis has stopped 6 out of his 13 wins. Jarko stopped 7, but when I say they're not necessarily punches, I mean some of the fights that we've seen, some fighters that we're seeing now, most of their fights are by stoppage, aren't they? If we've seen real punches with real power.
Yeah, and this is the thing. And another curious thing, Troy Williamson, who is probably the best win of both of theirs.
Yeah.
You'd probably argue. He's also fighting this weekend.
Yep.
Fighting tonight.
Tonight.
As we're recording this to avoid confusion. So, yeah, there's opportunities out there for a lot of these guys, and I think Davis Ajaku, whoever wins this, I don't think it's the end of the road for whoever loses, but it gives them a real springboard to go, right, I'm at that sort of British European level.
Yep.
Now, give me a real camp. Let me go out there and maybe test you against someone at that fringe world level. And
Who would you like that to be?
oh, put me on the spot. Okay, for me, if Kievan Ajarko wins, I think personally he needs a real step up in class.
Yeah.
Because I think we've held him back a little bit too long. I think he's been a bit inactive. So who would I like to see Kievan Ajarko? Let me come back to you on it because I don't want to.
Okay.
Don't want to mute
Don't want to
it.
give me a half-arsed answer.
No, absolutely not. But there are some really good fights for both, and I'll give you an answer before the end of today's video.
Okay, I can accept that. We'll move on to Tyrone McKenna, Dylan Moran, the rematch.
Lovely, great fight.
The rematch, another welterweight scrap.
Yeah, loving the welterweight card.
Yeah. So we've got Tyrone McKenna, who's 24-6-1.
Yeah.
He's been stopped 3 times out of his 6, but he's lost to good fighters. He's lost to Harlem Eubank,
Yep.
Regis Prograis, Jack Catterall, Crocker,
Yep.
and Ahara Davies. And there was another name in there, but not
Someone
quite
of less
as
note.
notable.
Yeah.
So you're talking about good fighters.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not, it's not a crime to lose to a good fighter, is it? So
No, absolutely not.
his record shows quite a few losses, but of the highest caliber, really. Moran's also picked up some losses, 19-3, and he has actually had 2 losses in his last 3 fights.
Yep.
His last loss was to Tyrone McKenna.
It was
in December 2024, and he was stopped early, second round.
He was caught cold, is what he describes.
Yep. Which
is, hey, look, it happens, right? We've seen it throughout boxing, and it's not just the sort of middle level sort of area British champion type level. It's throughout boxing. We've seen it with AJ,
top to bottom, isn't
it? It's top to bottom in boxing. It's unavoidable. The Tyrone McKenna Moran clash for me makes a lot of sense for McKenna because I think McKenna, even though he keeps telling us he's going to retire, has clearly got the fire burning still.
Yeah.
He continues to want to prove that really big things were expected of him, and he has only come unstuck at the higher levels. And we come back to it a lot. Not everyone needs to be a world champion, but Tyrone McKenna is a big ticket seller. People absolutely love him in Ireland, and he's, in my opinion, he's way, way above the level of someone like Dylan Moran, and I expect it to be the same result, not necessarily the same outcome, or not necessarily the same means to said outcome.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, and it'll be interesting with this again at that welterweight division. Where next for a McKenna? If Moran wins, where next for Moran? For me, stick it local, fight for a couple of maybe, I don't know, fight for a Celtic title. Other than that, enjoy your career. Fight at the level you found yourself.
Yep.
Embrace that. If a big opportunity comes, why, you'd be an idiot not to take it.
Yeah, you would be. Yeah.
But build a bit of momentum for whoever wins this for me.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I'd probably agree. It's hard to say that, Moran's not fought the same level as opposition as Tyrone McKenna has. Again, Tyrone McKenna's mixed it with the best and lost to some of the best.
Yeah.
And so you would expect that this is likely to go the same way. But as we've said before, it's boxing. Nothing is ever certain. So we will have to wait and see.
The winner of Ajarko Williamson.
Yep. Oh, you've been thinking about this?
I have.
Of course you have. You've been thinking about it.
While I've been talking about other people,
things, yeah.
Now, there's 2 fighters that I'd be interested in both of them seeing, because both of them would give us a good measuring stick.
Yep.
So, and I'm just going to give the answer for both. I'm not going to sort of confuse it. Either of them come through, I'd like to see them in there with someone like Regis Prograis, Jojo Diaz, or Harlem Eubank. Harlem's a decent name in Britain, coming off of a loss to Jack Catterall, who is a notable world level fighter.
Yeah.
Regis Prograis, people are umming and ahhing where he sits, but looked really good against Diaz. Jojo Diaz, continues to be the hardest man in boxing. He will stand and get punched forever. But he brings a hell of a lot of pressure and he asks a lot of questions. And I think any of them three are big enough names that they could headline their own sort of home sort of shows. But also as well, I think they all offer something slightly different to give them a test going forward. They're the three that, for me, I'd like to see one of those guys in with next.
Cool. I'm glad we came back to that.
It was important for
After
me.
you'd figured it out.
Yeah, it was important. Putting the jigsaw together in my head.
Yeah. So moving on to the rest of the card then, or the rest of the card as it was at the time of recording. So Pat Brown, who is exciting.
Love him.
Yeah, very exciting. Cruiserweight prospect for Britain.
I have adopted him in my mind. He has become instantaneously one of my favourite fighters.
Yeah.
That
What's done that for you?
a bit of everything. I think he's so as me and you both, big lovers of Dave Allen.
Yes.
Their little bromance for me is
Ripping
brilliant.
his boxers in half
Just
and things like that.
Everything, like absolutely brilliant. Really good laugh. Also, really down to earth guy. Speaks well. Proper people's champion. But also he can fight.
Oh,
like he is a tough motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's honestly when he inevitably moves up to heavyweight, because the fact that he makes cruiserweight blows my mind because he's a big boy. Once he moves up to heavyweight, him, Leo Atang, Moses Atauma, and Daniel Dubois, if he decides where he's training and if he wants to be a boxer or draw fucking pictures, them four, all Brits, could absolutely dominate world heavyweight boxing. Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
So exciting.
Yeah.
And he's got a really good beard that I'm jealous of.
Oh, right.
But I'm learning. I'm
And
practicing.
He's got everything, basically.
Nah. Not everything. I've been told.
So he's it's gonna be his fourth outing.
It is.
He's won all of his first three fights
By
stoppage.
Yep.
He is fighting an opponent though who has only been stopped once in 17 fights, 5 of which he has lost.
Yep.
So
10 wins by stoppage, 12 wins total. Is that right?
I think so.
Yeah. Bit of a puncher, this guy.
Yeah.
At whatever level.
So it's a challenge because not only are you fighting somebody who hasn't got a glass chin.
Yep.
You're also fighting somebody who's gonna fight back.
Yeah, who's gonna whack him.
And so it'll be a bit of an interesting one. And it's one of those fights where it's kind of, if you do dispatch somebody really quickly who isn't normally so quickly dispatched, it's a good look, isn't it? And hopefully, I mean, after this, maybe a couple more fights, you just want to see them
gears, levels,
just start picking up the momentum. I think you see the key one for us at the minute is you're seeing it with Atama, who is being pushed through quickly.
Out again on the 13th of December.
Out again, yeah. So
no opponent announced yet, but
it's got to be a big one this time, hasn't it? It's got to be somebody big.
I mean, it has to be. It's got to be top 10, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I've got a sneaky suspicion it'll be. Don't know why, but I think it's going to be Zhilei Zhang. Don't think Hrgovic is going to be ready. And Zhilei Zhang, by the way, no problem with that fight for me. Great
still
measure.
a good fight, isn't it? That.
So you normally ask the questions. You're normally the question boy.
Okay.
Question man. Apologies.
Yes.
But I'm going to reverse it.
Flip reverse it.
Flip the coin on its head. Piss pot, tin pot, whatever, right? Pat Brown. Who next? I've got a name in my head. I think already I'd like to see him in there.
I don't really know for this one. Because it's always tempting to just say like, oh, it's going to be amazing, so just move them on really quick. But I'm not really sure. I'd be interested to see what your name is first.
I would like to see him in with Mikhail Lowell.
Okay.
He has previous British champion. Not the greatest boxer in the world. Can punch a bit, lost a little bit of confidence. Hasn't been particularly active, but I think he could get up for the Pat Brown fight. He's not as... When you look at what we've got in Britain, you get to the English-British level, and we've got people like Vidal Riley.
Yeah.
You've got people like, relevant of his previous losses, but you've got Chev. Chev Clark, tough fight for anybody. And at some point, Pat Brown will have to look at that. You've then got Isaac Chamberlain, obviously Billum Smith. You've got a good group of fighters there, but them are just a little bit too far ahead for me. Whereas for me, I'd like to see they might want to throw him in with somebody who can give him a bit more rounds first, and I'd be okay with that. But for me, let's throw him in there with Mikel Lowell, 5th fight. Let's see what this kid's got.
That's a good shout.
Then let's assess. If he demolishes Mikel Lowell, Chev, get him in there, and just start to roll through them levels because he is good enough. He is absolutely good enough to beat all those guys. And until we roll that dice, we're not going to know.
Yeah, and you want to get people moving through that, don't you? And finding out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's going to be one to watch.
Very.
That'll be a really, I just think it's going to be an explosive finish. To be honest with you,
love that fight.
But let's see. Okay, another British prospect then, Aaron Bowen.
Like him.
Middleweight prospect. He's 6-0. 4 stoppages. I mean, I think for him, again, at the time, we don't have his opponent, but it's going to be an opportunity, hopefully, for him to get rounds under his belt. Again, if he doesn't have an opponent set at this late date, it's likely because it's not a particularly notable opponent. But rounds under his belt, which I actually think he needs. There was an outing where he was down, which was a bit of a shock for everybody.
We were there, Birmingham.
We were BP Pulse, and it's one where hopefully he can go in, pick up some rounds, work on some things, and then look to move along.
I like Bowen, and I've been speaking to him. Because we've obviously been discussing some of his use of his content for the channel, and he's a really nice kid.
Yeah,
and he's got a really good amateur pedigree. He's been in and around it. He's fought everyone in the amateurs. In that middleweight division at the minute in Britain, you've got people like Conway, Troy Williamson, Mark Dickinson.
Yep.
You've got, on top of that, you've then got Jimmy Sains, George Liddard. You've got a phenomenal group of fighters.
Out there for him.
Aaron's obviously a little bit away from that right now, but I think next year, if they can get him a really active year, 5, 6 fights maybe, keep him really, really active, not necessarily against the best opponents, but just really sort of sharpen his craft up.
Yeah.
He's one to watch, but I think he's a bit big for middleweight for me. And I think that affected him in the last fight. Yeah. He's a big old lump, isn't he?
He does look a big lad, really, for the weight, doesn't he? But I don't know, maybe that'll play into his strengths a bit, but it's how long you can sustain that, isn't it?
We've seen it with a prospect who's still a prospect criminally, a fighter called John Hedges, who's now a cruiserweight. And again, when he was coming through, a bit like Willie Hutchinson, actually. when he was coming through, it was like, I want to be as tight as I can on the weight, and you get why fighters do it. And it got to a point where it's like, this just isn't healthy. Yeah. We did an interview with Troy Williamson last week, which is on YouTube if anyone wants to watch it and catch up on that. And Troy said he had campaigned for too long at a weight that he shouldn't have been campaigning at because he felt that was the right thing to do. And now he's gone, I feel so much better. I'm energized. I'm sleeping well. I'm punching harder. And sometimes trying to drag yourself down one too many weights isn't the right thing to do. Sometimes going, do you know what? This is where I'm at. This is my natural weight. Or a couple of weights below. I'm not saying, if you're a walking around at middleweight, fight at middleweight. Obviously not. Like, you can drop a weight, maybe even 2. But don't kill yourself.
Yeah, and I think that's something to be mindful of. Especially, it was quite enlightening speaking to Troy about that and talking about finding your weight and that sort of thing. But
it's nice, and it just shows no matter how experienced you are and how long you've been in this game, doesn't mean it because he's 20, 25, 16 wins, 4 losses, I think, Troy Williamson, something like that. But even at his point in his career where he's done everything that he's dreamt of so far, he's still only just going, I've been fighting at the wrong weight for too long. Yeah. Madness. Absolutely crazy. But
you find that out, though, don't you? And you adapt.
Push him. Absolutely.
I tell you what, we'll do Kyle Smith.
Yes.
Next. Out on his pro debut. Looks to have had a pretty good amateur background and just not got loads, really, of background insight on Kyle Smith, other than to say that he's a young prospect who's coming into the sport and coming into the pro game, which is exciting.
Yeah, you don't know anything about Kyle. Not really heard a great deal about him, apart from bits and bobs we've read, obviously pre the fight card. But we've got some really talented youngsters coming through, and I'm sure Kyle's one of them.
Yeah.
And there's loads out there. Taylor Bevan, one that stands out for me as a younger. Leo Watang, obviously, we've spoke about. But there's absolutely loads of them, and I'm sure Kyle meets that criteria to be.
It's a good stage to be on as well, isn't it? It's going to be a good night of boxing.
Big venue.
It's going to draw a lot of eyes.
Absolutely.
So it's a good one to be on. Hopefully get out there, make a good start.
Interesting to see at that level, coming in and making your debut, how he responds to the pressure, being under the lights, and having that sort of environment, because it's not going to be easy. I mean, we've never done it, but I don't envy them. But get behind him. I'll be interested to see how he goes. And there was also a bit of a.
It's another pro debut.
It is, bit of a swerve ball, this one though. A bit of a special guest.
Bit of a swerve ball. I like that. Yes. So coming over from the UFC in a first pro fight as a boxer is Meatball Molly. Molly McCann.
The Swerve Meatball.
The Swerve Meatball. Yeah, it's a bit of an interesting one from the perspective of she was in the UFC. She won 14 of her fights.
Yep.
She lost 8 fights.
Yep.
And now she's coming over to boxing. And
I like it.
She's a good character, though, isn't she? As well. That helps.
Do you know what? Right. Women's boxing has grown phenomenally.
Yeah.
Thanks to a couple of really big names. Katie Taylor, I think, has to be given the credit for the sort of real market leader for that.
Yeah.
What she did for the amateurs, what she did for Olympic boxing for women, and just everything in general. However, the one thing, male boxing, we're a bit lacking at the minute. Women's boxing misses that character. Now, you've got Clarissa Shields.
She's quite a big character as well, isn't she?
But she's not everyone's cup of tea.
No.
She's American. She's in your face, the whole quote thing. But people love her. Katie Taylor's very reserved, very quiet, gets on with it.
Yeah.
We need, in women's boxing, we need more characters. And I think Meatball Molly McCann, I think will do phenomenal things for women boxing. And it's a tough fight. They've put her in as a pro debut.
Yeah, not like a pushover fight, is it? Kate Radomsko's only been stopped once.
Yeah.
And only really, I know you said, only really lost to good opposition.
Yeah, so. Shannon Ryan, Maisie Oaks, Courtney, Gemma Ruig. I think this out of the 7, I think 6 of them are really Nicola Hopewell, really good operators. So if Molly McCann's got any relative fundamentals, which I'd like to think she will have as a striker in the UFC, I think realistically, I think she'll come in there and do a job. My curiosity is how hard she hits in boxing gloves.
Yeah, it's always a talking point, isn't it? But
because,
I mean, I suppose we'll see.
We will. And if she stops this girl in Radomska, bit of a statement. And she's already a big enough name, Molly McCann. Let's be honest, we're not going to build her slowly.
No.
She's straight into big arena selling headline fights against, to be honest, let's be honest, who the fuck she wants.
Yeah.
Because
that's the upside of being a name that people recognise and a character that people will get behind, isn't it? You will get pushed into 10 fights quicker. So.
I love the fight. I love the move over. I love the link up with Matchroom. And I think, I'll be honest, if Molly's done it, once Paddy's achieved what he wants, maybe we'll see Paddy in the ring.
Well, that would be interesting. That would be interesting.
Exclusive. You heard it here first.
Right, we have reached the end of the card now. Again, as far as it was at the point of filming. So we'll go into our last bits and we'll try and get through them quickly as always.
It's all right, ready. Rapid fire.
So we'll go, first of all, I want your predictions for the winners. So starting off, Crocker Donovan.
Donovan, decision.
Okay. Ishmael Davis, Squeezing Jarko.
Ishmael Davis, late stoppage.
Okay. Tyrone McKenna, Dylan Moran. The rematch.
Moran will stay away from McKenna's right hand earlier. Won't look to trade. Be a decent scrap. McKenna points. Majority decision. It's going to be a title.
And then, is Pat Brown going to win his fight?
Pat Brown will absolutely kill Namandi or whatever his name is.
Yeah, Namandi. And Bowen?
I think he'll go with the rounds. Not for any choice of him or the opponent. I think his coaches will say, go out there and
get them rounds.
Try a few things from training.
Kyle Smith, our new prospect?
Know nothing about him, but whoever he is fighting, when it is announced, Kyle Smith is going to chin him round 1.
And then, lastly, Meatball Molly.
Stoppage early.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's out there.
I think she bangs a bit. And I'll be honest, I think, yeah, why not? Meatball Molly,
Early stop.
early stoppage, round 1.
Okay. Well, that's the predictions out of the way. Now, fight of the night for you on this card. Who's it going to be?
Crocker Donovan.
It's got to be, hasn't it?
Got to be.
Gonna-
The
it's gonna
first
be
fight
a
was
bloodbath.
brilliant. I think Crocker comes in with a different view. I think he looks to box a bit more than the first. Stay out
Yeah.
of his way. Maybe not look to overly trade. Yeah, it's guaranteed to be a banger. It'll either be a war or it'll be some phenomenal boxing from Paddy Donovan. Either way, fight of the night without a shadow of a doubt for me.
And so then your upset of the night.
Upset of the night. Do you know what? I'm going to go because I don't think you can give either Ish or Kievan as an upset. I think it's a really good 50-50. I'm going to go for Dylan Moran to cause the upset.
Really?
I don't think it will happen, but it's the most likely for me. Or even Aaron Bowen potentially with whoever he gets, because I think he's there to be chinned. We've seen it.
Seen him down.
Yeah, Moran for me.
Brilliant. Right, okay. With that out the way, we'll have a look at Rate the Robot as we always do. So that's going to be. We need a jingle, don't we?
It's like that. Do you know that YouTube guy, the TikTok guy?
Yeah, him.
If you got to hold your bladder, now it's time for the career ladder. You ever watched that guy?
I have seen that. We need a jingle. I've
Okay,
decided.
I will write a jingle. I'll write a
Um,
rap for it.
so we're going to have a look now at AI, see what AI has predicted, see whether we're on the same lines, find out whether it's wrong. So from the top, Donovan decision.
Can't argue with that. That's what I
Can't
said.
remember that. Ishmael Davis to beat Cuevan and Jarko. It says lean. I'm guessing that means close.
AI is a crackhead.
AI's on stuff. It's Tyrone McKenna, Pat Brown,
Yep.
Molly McCann,
Yep.
Aaron Bowen, and the others, it says, are unclear. So Kyle Smith, unclear.
AI lets me down here. It's done all right on the previous weeks. It's been quite detailed and quite controversial, but it's
been some there or thereabouts, hasn't it?
Yeah. But that is Rate the Robot, and we're not here to tell the robot it's wrong because robots know best. AI are here to take over the world.
And hopefully soon
Kill.
take over my job.
Oh, I'd like that.
Would
If
be good,
I
wouldn't
can,
it?
but AI can't do my job.
All right. Tom's the most valuable person in the world. This, however, is the end of the video. Make sure to comment down, give us your thoughts,
Share.
like, subscribe, share with your friends, and check out our TikTok as well, because we post little shorts of everything that we record here.
Boxing 365 Productions on TikTok. If you can't find us on TikTok, then, well, you won't find us.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.